Ever feel like the world around you is spinning out of control, leaving you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and constantly on edge? Do you find yourself reacting impulsively to minor frustrations, a traffic jam, a rude comment, a slow internet connection, and then carrying that negativity throughout your entire day? What if I told you that you possess an incredible, untapped power to remain centered and calm, no matter what challenges life throws your way? If these questions resonate, then you're in the right place. Welcome to StoicCraft, a vital resource for men like us striving to cultivate unshakable inner peace and resilience in a demanding world. Here we delve into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, offering practical, battle-tested principles to help you master your mind and navigate life's storms with grace and unwavering strength. Hey, warrior, envision this for a moment. There's a furious storm raging outside. The wind howls relentlessly. The rain pounds against the windows. Trees sway violently, and every external element seems utterly chaotic and beyond your control. Yet inside a quiet, sturdy house, a single candle flickers, its flame perfectly still, completely unmoved by the tempest just beyond the glass. That candle represents the kind of mind we all fundamentally need to cultivate as we navigate the complexities of our adult lives, a mind that can remain profoundly calm, steady, and resilient, even when life unleashes its most intense chaos upon us. Unfortunately, for most of us, this ideal state feels like a distant dream. We get stuck in the daily grind, perhaps in traffic, and suddenly we feel an explosion of frustration building within us. A seemingly insignificant rude comment from a colleague or even a loved one can replay endlessly in our minds, hijacking our focus and our peace. We find ourselves losing control, not over monumental crises, but over the smallest of inconveniences, and in doing so, we inadvertently surrender control over our entire day, our mood, and our overall well-being. The ancient Stoics, those profound thinkers from millennia ago, possessed an understanding that modern science is only now beginning to fully grasp. They recognized that your mind is remarkably similar to a muscle, and just like any muscle in your body, your mind can be rigorously trained to become stronger, more steadfast, and far more resilient than you might currently believe. Marcus Aurelius, the revered Roman emperor who governed during some of the most incredibly challenging and turbulent periods in history, penned a profound truth in his personal journal that serves as a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Take a moment to truly absorb the depth of that statement. The most powerful man in the ancient world wasn't preoccupied with commanding vast armies or conquering distant lands. His deepest focus was on something far more intimate and transformative, controlling his own mind. He understood a fundamental truth that we, in our fast-paced modern lives, often tragically overlook. The real, most critical battle we face isn't happening externally in the world around us. It is unfolding constantly, right here, within the confines of our own minds. What I'm about to share with you today on StoicCraft isn't mere abstract theory. These aren't just fleeting, feel-good quotes designed to offer 5 minutes of temporary upliftment. No, these are robust, practical, and time-tested principles, truly battle-tested over thousands of years and across millions of lives. They are designed to help you cultivate a genuine, enduring calm. Not the fragile, superficial calm that instantly shatters the moment something goes awry, but the profound, authentic inner calm that arises from a deep, experiential understanding of how your mind truly operates and how you can wisely direct its immense power. You see, a common misconception is that true calmness equates to a life where nothing bad ever happens to you, but that's not actually calmness. That's merely good fortune, or perhaps even naive optimism. Real, authentic calmness, the kind that empowers men to lead fulfilling lives, is when difficult, unexpected, or even genuinely bad things inevitably happen, and yet you do not shatter or fall apart internally. True calmness is when your entire world feels shaken to its core, and still you manage to remain steady, firmly rooted in your inner equilibrium. It's when everyone around you seems to be losing their composure, succumbing to panic or anger, and you become the unwavering eye of the storm, a beacon of stability for yourself and for others. This pursuit of inner calm isn't about suppressing your legitimate emotions or pretending that everything is perfectly fine when it unequivocally isn't. Instead, it's about strategically developing the inner strength and mental fortitude required to face reality head-on with absolute clarity, without allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by its harshness or complexity. It's about meticulously building a mind that is robust and capable enough to handle whatever curveballs life inevitably throws at you. Not because you've become adept at avoiding the storm, but because you've profoundly learned the art of dancing skillfully and gracefully within the pouring rain. Before we dive deeper into these transformative lessons, if this conversation resonates with you, please show your support by hitting that like button, sharing this video with another man who needs to hear this empowering message, and subscribing to the StoicCraft channel. If you're genuinely ready to master your emotions and forge an unshakable mental resilience, you won't want to miss a single point of what we're about to explore. Now, let's begin to train the mind together. Lesson 1. Cultivate a mind that doesn't demand perfection. Here's a fundamental truth that, once fully embraced, can radically transform your inner landscape. Life will never, ever present you with a truly perfect day where every single element unfolds precisely according to your intricate plans. Never. And the sooner we, as mature men navigating complex lives, truly accept this undeniable reality, the quicker we can begin the profound work of cultivating genuine inner peace. Most people, unfortunately, spend their entire lives in a futile struggle, trying desperately to control the uncontrollable aspects of their existence. They feel an unconscious, yet powerful, need for their boss to consistently be in a good mood, for their children to behave flawlessly, for their relationships to be entirely devoid of conflict, and for all their meticulously crafted plans to execute themselves with absolute precision and without a single deviation. The profound irony, of course, is that when any of these highly improbable expectations fail to materialize, which, as we know from experience, is most of the time, they inevitably crumble, feeling shattered, frustrated, or deeply distressed. Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who endured years of brutal slavery before remarkably ascending to become one of history's most influential teachers, articulated a truly revolutionary concept. He taught that, fundamentally, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. For Epictetus, this wasn't merely an intellectual philosophy. It was a deeply ingrained strategy for survival itself. He masterfully learned to find profound inner peace even when his external circumstances were entirely beyond his personal control, a lesson of immense value for our own lives. Think back for a moment to the last time you felt genuinely stressed or overwhelmed. I'd wager it wasn't due to some catastrophic, life-altering event. More likely, it was triggered by a seemingly minor inconvenience that simply didn't align with your expectations. Perhaps your morning coffee order was incorrect. Maybe traffic was unusually heavy, disrupting your commute. Or perhaps a text message wasn't returned as quickly as you anticipated, or your internet connection lagged maddeningly. These seemingly insignificant disruptions had the power to derail your entire day, primarily because you had, perhaps unconsciously, conditioned yourself to believe that everything needed to be perfect for you to maintain your sense of well-being. But what if you didn't require everything to unfold perfectly? What if you possessed the remarkable capacity to remain genuinely peaceful, even when circumstances go awry or when unexpected obstacles emerge? This isn't about lowering your ambitions or giving up on your goals. This is about a far more sophisticated and empowering distinction, consciously separating your profound inner peace from the unpredictable whims of external circumstances. The ancient Stoics employed a powerful mental exercise for this very purpose: negative visualization. They would regularly and deliberately imagine losing everything they held dear: their health, their hard-earned wealth, even their cherished loved ones. This wasn't because they were inherently pessimistic or morbid, quite the opposite. They engaged in this practice precisely because they wanted to train their minds to be perfectly okay, to remain stable and centered, even in the absolute worst-case scenarios. This exercise forged a profound mental stability that was not reliant on everything consistently going right in their lives. Here's how you, a man in his prime, can begin applying this transformative principle today. The next time a small inconvenience arises, your phone battery unexpectedly dies, you accidentally spill coffee on your shirt, or another driver rudely cuts you off in traffic, use it as a deliberate training opportunity. Instead of immediately spiraling into frustration or anger, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and calmly ask yourself, can I genuinely be okay, even though this seemingly negative thing has just happened? Notice I'm not asking you to conjure up forced happiness or to pretend that the situation is inherently good. I'm simply asking if you can skillfully maintain your precious inner equilibrium, your internal balance, even when the external world isn't conforming to your ideal blueprint. This, my friends, is precisely what a well-trained, Stoic mind does. It does not require ideal external conditions to function optimally and maintain its calm. Start practicing with these minor inconveniences and gradually work your way up to larger challenges. Practice remaining calm when you're meticulously laid. Plans unexpectedly change. Practice staying peaceful and grounded when people in your life inevitably disappoint you. Practice staying centered and focused when technology, as it often does, fails to work exactly as you wish. Each and every time you consciously choose calm over chaos in these small, daily moments, you are actively building a formidable mental muscle. This muscle will serve you incredibly well when the truly significant challenges and crises inevitably arrive. Remember, this isn't about becoming devoid of emotions or developing an uncaring demeanor. You are still free to have preferences, to work diligently towards your goals, and to desire good things to happen. However, you are no longer held hostage by the desperate need for everything to be absolutely perfect for your peace to exist. When you cultivate a mind that doesn't demand perfect circumstances, something truly amazing begins to happen. You become genuinely free. Free from the exhausting, relentless cycle of constantly trying to control every external aspect of your life. Free from the insidious anxiety that inevitably arises when you pin your peace on circumstances that are, by their very nature, beyond your control. And most powerfully, you become free to respond to life from a profound place of inner strength and wisdom, rather than from a desperate, reactive position. This is the bedrock, the very foundation of all lasting inner calm, the deep recognition that your peace doesn't originate from your external circumstances, but rather from your conscious, deliberate response to those circumstances. I encourage you to drop this affirmation in the comments below. My peace does not depend on perfection. Lesson 2. Discerning your thoughts. You are not your brain's chatter. Here's a truth that, while it might initially sound a bit harsh, is one of the most profoundly liberating insights you will ever internalize, especially as a man committed to self-mastery. Your mind, left unchecked, is not always your friend. Consider this: your brain is a prolific factory, churning out an astonishing estimated 60,000 thoughts every single day. And the unsettling truth is that a significant portion of this immense volume of thoughts is, quite frankly, mental garbage. They are often repetitive, steeped in negativity, frequently irrational, and, disturbingly, they are designed to keep you locked in cycles of stress, anxiety, and a perpetual state of unease. The ancient Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius, understood this dynamic with profound clarity. In his deeply personal meditations, he constantly reminded himself of the immense trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself. He instinctively knew that the mind possesses a strong, often detrimental, tendency to conjure up problems that, in reality, simply do not exist outside of our own heads. Take a moment to truly observe what's likely happening in your own mind. Right now, your brain is probably busily running through worst-case scenarios, perhaps replaying embarrassing moments from your distant past, or concocting elaborate, fictional narratives about what other people might be thinking of you. It's whispering that you're somehow not good enough, that something terrible is perpetually on the verge of happening, or that you should be worried right this instant about 17 different potential issues that are, in fact, entirely beyond your immediate control. But here's the crucial distinction. None of this incessant mental chatter is actually real in the external world. It's simply your brain performing its default function. Your mind, in this context, behaves much like a hyperactive, overly zealous security guard who perceives danger lurking around every corner. Even when you are completely safe and secure, it's desperately attempting to protect you, but ironically, it's often terrible at its job. Most people make a critical, mistake. They instinctively believe every single thought that spontaneously pops into their head. If their brain generates the thought, "Everyone thinks you're stupid," they internalize it as an absolute truth. If their mind whispers, "Something bad is definitely going to happen," they immediately begin planning for an impending disaster. If a worried thought surfaces, they automatically assume it must be profoundly important, simply because they are the one thinking it. This is precisely where the Stoics offered a truly revolutionary perspective. They deeply understood that you are not your thoughts. Instead, you are the conscious observer of your thoughts. There exists a profound, quiet part of you that possesses the remarkable ability to step back, detach, and simply watch your mind generate all this internal drama without getting inextricably caught up in its powerful currents. Try this simple exercise right now. For the next 30 seconds, just quietly notice what your mind is doing. Don't attempt to control it, judge it, or force it to change in any way. Just observe. You might notice it erratically jumping from what you ate for breakfast to an urgent work deadline to some embarrassing memory from 5 years ago. Watch how your thoughts flit around, much like a restless child. This seemingly simple act of detached observation fundamentally changes everything. The moment you realize you have the capacity to watch your thoughts, you simultaneously realize that you are not obligated to blindly obey them. You can allow them to simply come and go, like transient clouds drifting across an endless sky. Some thoughts, of course, are genuinely useful and absolutely worth your attention, but the vast majority are nothing more than distracting mental noise. The Stoics had a powerful practice they called objective representation. Instead of allowing their minds to construct elaborate, often emotionally charged narratives around events, they would intentionally describe situations in simple, factual, and neutral terms. For example, instead of thinking, "My boss hates me, and I'm probably going to get fired," a Stoic would reframe it as, "My boss provided me with critical feedback regarding my project." Do you see the profound difference? One version instantly propels you into a spiral of anxiety and catastrophic thinking. The other, by contrast, is simply clear, actionable information that you can calmly and logically work with. Start practicing this vital mental discipline today. The next time you notice your mind beginning to create unnecessary drama, ask yourself, what are the actual, undeniable facts here? Consciously strip away the emotional story, the dramatic narrative that your brain is attempting to add, and instead focus solely on what is truly happening in objective reality. You will be astonished at how many of your perceived problems exist solely within the confines of your own thoughts, and not in reality itself. Remember this crucial insight. Merely having anxious thoughts does not inherently make you an anxious person. Experiencing angry thoughts does not automatically transform you into an angry person. And having worried thoughts certainly doesn't mean you need to be worried. These are merely transient mental events, like fleeting visitors passing through the vast expanse of your consciousness. You, and only you, possess the ultimate power to choose which of these thoughts deserve your precious attention, and which ones you can simply, gracefully let go of. When you fundamentally stop blindly trusting every thought that surfaces in your mind, you reclaim your inherent power. You are no longer at the mercy of whatever random worry or fear your brain decides to spontaneously generate. Instead, you become the conscious director of your own internal mental experience, rather than remaining a passive victim of your thoughts. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My thoughts do not control me. I choose what to believe. Lesson 3. The power of presence. Slow down your mind. Slow down your life. We live in a culture that relentlessly worships speed. Faster internet connections, quicker response times, instant everything. But here's a profound truth that is rarely spoken about. The faster your mind frantically races, the more prone you become to anxiety, stress, and feeling utterly overwhelmed. Mental speed, contrary to popular belief, is not an inherent sign of superior intelligence or heightened productivity. More often than not, it is a clear symptom of deep inner chaos. The ancient Stoics grasped something deeply profound about the intricate relationship between the pace of one's mind and the cultivation of lasting inner peace. Seneca, a man of immense influence who served as an advisor to emperors and managed vast personal wealth, wisely wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." He intuitively understood that a frantic rush through life inevitably leads to missing the profound wisdom that can only be gleaned from truly and deliberately experiencing each moment as it unfolds. Consider the last time you felt truly, deeply, calm and profoundly centered. I can guarantee you that your mind was not racing frantically. You weren't impulsively jumping from one thought to the next, nor were you desperately attempting to simultaneously solve 17 different problems. Instead, you were fully present, firmly grounded in the here and now, moving through life at a steady, sustainable pace. Yet, the unfortunate reality for most of us is that we have unwittingly trained our minds to run incessantly, like hamsters trapped on a relentless wheel. We awaken each morning and immediately launch into a flurry of mental multitasking. We find ourselves thinking about work responsibilities while we're getting dressed, meticulously planning dinner details while we're brushing our teeth, and simultaneously worrying about tomorrow's challenges while desperately attempting to focus on today's tasks. We've erroneously convinced ourselves that this constant mental juggling act somehow makes us more efficient and productive. But the truth is, this behavior actually makes us far more stressed, far more fragmented, and ultimately less effective at everything we attempt to do. Your mind, just like your physical body, desperately requires periods of genuine rest. It needs those essential moments of stillness, those quiet pauses, to properly process information, to integrate life's myriad experiences, and to restore its delicate natural balance. When you consistently push your mental RPMs into the red zone, you inadvertently create a chronic state of stress that renders the attainment of true calm an impossibility. The Stoics diligently practiced something they referred to as aspasos, a profound form of mindful attention that involved deliberately slowing down and intensely focusing on one singular thing. They inherently understood that presence isn't merely a pleasant philosophical concept. It is, in fact, an immensely practical and powerful tool for consistently maintaining inner peace. Here's how you can begin the transformative process of slowing down your mind today. Select one routine activity that you typically rush through, perhaps drinking your morning coffee, walking to your car, or washing the dishes. For the entirety of the next week, commit to performing this one activity at half your usual speed. Consciously pay deep, immersive attention to precisely what you are doing, instead of allowing your mind to frantically race ahead to the next task on your mental checklist. You will likely experience a degree of discomfort at first. Your brain will probably protest vehemently, telling you that you are wasting precious time. This initial resistance is entirely normal. You've been rigorously training your mind to operate at high speed for years, and it requires deliberate, consistent practice to gently shift it into a calmer, more mindful gear. But a truly magical transformation occurs when you consciously choose to slow down your mind. You begin to notice intricate details and subtle nuances that you've been completely missing. You become far more acutely aware of your own thoughts and emotions before they spiral uncontrollably. You start making better, more informed decisions, because you're no longer reacting from a place of mental chaos. You feel more profoundly grounded and less mentally scattered. The Stoics also brilliantly utilize breathing as a powerful tool for regulating their mental pace. When Marcus Aurelius sensed his mind beginning to race, he would deliberately focus on his breath, not as a formal meditation technique, but simply as a practical way to firmly anchor his attention in the present moment. Breathing, by its very nature, occurs at the perfect natural pace for cultivating a calm mind. It's not too fast, not too slow, just steady, rhythmic, and perfectly balanced. Try this right now. Take 5 slow, deep breaths, consciously counting each one as you inhale and exhale. Notice how this incredibly simple act immediately shifts your mental energy. This isn't magic, it's fundamental biology. When you consciously slow down your breathing, you transmit a clear signal to your nervous system that everything is fundamentally okay, and that it is safe to relax and release tension. Remember, intentionally slowing down your mind doesn't equate to becoming lazy or unproductive. It signifies moving through your day with deliberate intention rather than franticness. It means consciously choosing quality over mere quantity in your thinking and in your actions. It means graciously giving your mind the essential space it desperately needs to function at its absolute best. When you successfully slow down your mind, you don't accomplish less. You, in fact, accomplish better. You make fewer errors, generate more innovative ideas, and feel a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment with everything you do. Most importantly, you meticulously create the precise mental conditions where genuine, lasting calm can not only emerge but truly flourish. Encourage you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I slowed down to take back my peace. Lesson 4. Mastering Failure, the Art of Not Falling Apart. Here's a profound truth that is rarely, if ever, taught in our traditional education systems, yet it possesses the power to transform the entire quality of your life, especially as a mature man. How you skillfully handle failure fundamentally determines the trajectory and richness of your entire existence. It's not your successes, your innate talents, or even your good luck that are the ultimate determinants. It is your deeply ingrained relationship with failure itself. And, tragically, most people cultivate the worst possible, most detrimental relationship with it. We have been deeply programmed, almost from childhood, to perceive failure as the ultimate. enemy, something to be meticulously avoided at all costs, a dreaded event that supposedly proves our inherent inadequacy. But the ancient Stoics, in their profound wisdom, viewed failure through an entirely different lens. To them, failure was not the antithesis of success. It was instead invaluable information, crucial feedback, and one of life's most potent and effective teachers. Epictetus, the former slave who became a celebrated teacher, taught his students a revolutionary idea. It's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. He grasped that failure possesses a unique power to strip away our illusions, dismantle our preconceived notions, and forcefully compel us to confront and perceive reality with absolute clarity. Without the jarring, humbling experience of failure, we often remain comfortably stuck in our own self-imposed ignorance. Think for a moment about a small child learning the momentous task of walking. They stumble and fall literally hundreds of times. Do they interpret each fall as definitive evidence that they are terrible at walking and should therefore simply give up? Of course not. They instinctively get back up, because falling is an intrinsic, non-negotiable part of the profound learning process. Yet somehow, as adults, we often tragically forget this fundamental truth and begin to treat every minor setback, every misstep, as a personal catastrophe of epic proportions. The problem, therefore, isn't failure itself. It is, rather, how we choose to interpret and assign meaning to that failure. Most individuals, after a single failed attempt, construct an entire, devastating narrative around their perceived inadequacy. They experience one failed relationship and immediately conclude they are fundamentally unlovable. They struggle in one job and definitively decide they are incompetent. They make one solitary mistake and in that moment convince themselves they are complete failures as human beings. But what if failure were simply objective data? What if it were merely clear information about what doesn't work, allowing you to calmly adjust your approach and try something different? The Stoics profoundly understood that every single failure contains a hidden treasure of wisdom, but only if you are brave enough and willing to carefully extract it. Instead of drowning in self-pity or endless rumination, here's how you can. Begin the transformative process of changing your fundamental relationship with failure. The next time something doesn't go precisely according to your plan, take a breath and ask yourself 3 crucial questions. First, what specific actionable information can I genuinely learn from this experience? This isn't about vague self-criticism, but concrete, practical lessons. Second, what wisdom, comfort, or guidance would I offer to a good friend who experienced this exact same setback? Typically, you would extend far more kindness, empathy, and rational perspective to them than you currently afford yourself. And third, how can I strategically use this experience to become stronger, more resilient, and more deeply aligned with my virtues? Marcus Aurelius himself faced unimaginable challenges, devastating military defeats, insidious political betrayals, and profound personal tragedies that would undoubtedly crush most ordinary individuals. Yet he meticulously trained his mind to perceive every single setback, every impediment, as an invaluable opportunity to consciously practice and embody virtue. He famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is not simply about positive thinking or deluding yourself into believing that bad things are inherently good. This is about profoundly recognizing that your character, your very essence, is forged and strengthened through challenges, not despite them. Every single time you courageously face failure and consciously choose to respond with wisdom rather than succumbing to weakness, you grow exponentially more resilient. Every single time you get knocked down and with unwavering resolve choose to get back up, you unequivocally prove to yourself that you are far stronger than your temporary circumstances. Start practicing this vital skill with small, everyday failures. If you burn dinner, learn something valuable about cooking techniques. If you get rejected for a job opportunity, gather precise information about what skills you need to develop or refine. If you have an awkward social interaction, use it as a chance to practice better, more empathetic communication. Each seemingly insignificant small failure becomes a powerful opportunity to build your resilience muscles, making you tougher and more adaptable. The most successful people throughout history are not those who miraculously never failed. On the contrary, they are consistently those who failed the most and, crucially, learned the fastest from those failures. They profoundly understood that failure is not a definitive reflection of their worth as human beings. It is simply unbiased feedback from reality, indicating what needs to be adjusted, refined, or approached differently. When you truly learn to fail without falling apart, you become unstoppable. Not because you will miraculously never encounter setbacks again, but because those setbacks will no longer possess the power to derail your progress or extinguish your inner calm. You develop what the Stoics referred to as the discipline of desire, the profound ability to genuinely want what happens, especially when what happens is providing you with invaluable, hard-won lessons. Remember, every master in any field was once a complete beginner, perhaps even a disaster. Every expert you admire began their journey as a novice. Every person whose achievements inspire you has a long, often unpublicized history of failures that meticulously shaped them into the resilient individuals they ultimately became. Your failures are not definitive evidence that you should give up or quit. On the contrary, they are indisputable evidence that you are actively learning, growing, and becoming stronger. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My failures are my teachers, not my enemies. Lesson 5. Safeguarding your energy. Treat it as your most precious resource. Here's a critical insight that, once deeply understood, can revolutionize your daily existence. You possess a finite, non-renewable amount of mental and emotional energy available to you each day. Most people, unfortunately, treat this precious energy as if it were limitless, carelessly squandering it on trivial matters that truly don't improve their lives. And then, predictably, they wonder why they constantly feel utterly drained, overwhelmed, and perpetually exhausted. But your energy, my friends, is your single most precious resource, and the Stoics unequivocally understood that meticulously protecting it is absolutely essential for maintaining a profound state of inner calm. Seneca, despite his immense personal wealth and powerful position in Roman society, was remarkably selective and intentional about how he invested his invaluable time and energy. He famously wrote, It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. He wasn't simply referring to chronological time. He was speaking of the vital mental and emotional energy that imbues time with genuine value and meaning. Consider your typical day. Honestly assess how much of your precious energy do you inadvertently waste on things that genuinely do not contribute to improving the quality of your life? How much of your valuable mental bandwidth do you squander on other people's incessant drama, on the outrage propagated by social media, on news stories over which you have absolutely no influence, or on conversations that consistently leave you feeling utterly drained rather than invigorated and energized? Every single time you willingly engage with negativity, every instance you allow yourself to be pulled into someone else's chaotic narrative, every moment you obsessively focus on problems you genuinely cannot solve, you are making a significant withdrawal from your limited energy bank account. And unlike your financial bank account, you cannot simply make more deposits whenever you desire. Your energy is fundamentally replenished through deliberate rest and mindful restoration, not through additional effort or frantic activity. The ancient Stoics embraced a profound concept they termed the discipline of action. The core idea was that you should judiciously spend your finite energy exclusively on matters that are genuinely within your control and are deeply aligned with your core values. Everything else, by extension, falls under someone else's responsibility, not yours. This means courageously saying no to energy vampires, those individuals who consistently present with a new crisis, who relentlessly dump their problems onto you without any genuine desire for solutions, and who consistently leave you feeling utterly exhausted after every interaction. It means consciously limiting your exposure to news feeds and social media, platforms that constantly flood your mind with problems you are simply powerless to solve. It means wisely choosing your battles instead of instinctively fighting every single conflict that presents itself. However, protecting your energy isn't solely about actively avoiding negative influences. It's also about being incredibly intentional and precise with where you deliberately direct your precious focus. Marcus Aurelius, in his daily reflections, consistently reminded himself, confine yourself to the present. He profoundly understood that energy spent needlessly worrying about an uncertain future or endlessly ruminating about an unchangeable past was energy, literally stolen from the only moment where you truly possess power, the powerful dynamic. Right now, here's a practical exercise you can implement for 1 week. Meticulously keep a record of what consistently gives you energy and what consistently drains it. Observe which activities, which people, and which thoughts leave you feeling more alive, invigorated, and energized, and which ones leave you feeling profoundly depleted and drained. You will likely be quite surprised by the insightful discoveries you make. Some common energy drainers include engaging in gossip, constant complaining, paralyzing perfectionism, futilely trying to control other people, mindless multitasking, consuming negative or sensationalized media, engaging in unproductive arguments you cannot possibly win, and perpetually worrying about things entirely outside your sphere of control. Conversely, some powerful energy restorers include spending quality time in nature, engaging in meaningful and uplifting conversations, immersing yourself in creative activities, engaging in physical movement, genuinely helping others in ways that deeply align with your values, continuously learning something new, regularly practicing gratitude, and purposefully spending time alone to recharge your inner batteries. The ultimate goal here isn't to eradicate every challenging or energy-consuming activity from your life. Some difficult endeavors are undeniably worth your energy precisely because they deeply align with your core values and purpose. The true objective is to become deeply conscious and deliberate about these choices, rather than passively allowing your vital energy to unconsciously leak away. Begin establishing clear, firm energetic boundaries, just as you would never permit someone to steal money directly from your wallet. Do not allow people or situations to steal your precious energy from your mind and spirit. This might mean judiciously limiting your time with certain individuals, proactively turning off non-essential notifications during periods of focused work, or consciously choosing not to engage in debates that lead nowhere productive. Remember, when you meticulously protect your energy, you are not being selfish. On the contrary, you are being profoundly responsible. You simply cannot pour from an empty cup. When you diligently maintain your own energetic resources, you naturally possess more to generously give to the people and the causes that genuinely matter most to you. Your energy directly determines your capacity to think clearly, to respond calmly and wisely, and to show up consistently as your absolute best self in all aspects of your life. Treat it with the profound respect and care that such a precious resource inherently deserves. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I guard my energy and spend it wisely. Lesson 6. The wisdom of disengagement. You don't need to win every argument. Here's a transformative truth that possesses the power to revolutionize your relationships and dramatically enhance your inner peace. You absolutely do not need to win every single argument. In fact, the relentless pursuit of winning every argument is one of the quickest and most destructive paths to losing your precious inner calm and inadvertently damaging your vital connections with others. Most people, unfortunately, approach disagreements as if they are preparing for an all-out war. Their primary objective is to unequivocally prove that they are right, to force the other person to concede that they are wrong, and ultimately to emerge from the verbal skirmish as the undisputed victor. However, the ancient Stoics understood something far more profound. The persistent, desperate need to always be right is ironically a clear indicator of inner weakness, not genuine strength. Marcus Aurelius, despite possessing the ultimate power to compel anyone to agree with him, consciously chose a vastly different, more enlightened path. He wisely wrote, "Whenever you want to cheer yourself, consider the good qualities of your companions, instead of fixating on how others might be wrong." He deliberately sought out ways in which they might, in fact, be right. This wasn't a sign of weakness. It was the epitome of wisdom. Think for a moment about your last significant argument. What were you really fighting for in that moment? Were you genuinely attempting to solve a problem, or were you merely trying to protect and bolster your own ego? Were you sincerely seeking truth, or were you desperately seeking external validation? The uncomfortable truth is that most arguments are not fundamentally about the stated topic of discussion. They are far too often about two individuals desperately attempting to prove their own worth by being right. But here's what inevitably happens when you are consumed by the need to always win. You inadvertently create adversaries instead of cultivating valuable allies. You transform what could be collaborative conversations into competitive battles. You tragically miss invaluable opportunities to learn something new and expand your perspective because you are too preoccupied with rigidly defending what you already believe to be true. And ultimately, you exhaust both yourself and others with unnecessary, unproductive conflict. The Stoics employed a truly revolutionary approach to disagreements. Instead of striving to win, they diligently sought to understand. Instead of relentlessly proving their own point, they actively looked for common ground in areas of mutual agreement. Instead of framing others as inherently wrong, they cultivated a profound sense of genuine curiosity. This enlightened approach certainly doesn't mean you become a passive doormat or that you cease to hold strong opinions. It means you judiciously choose your battles, approaching disagreements from a position of inner strength and confidence, rather than from a place of insecurity or ego. A truly confident person has no inherent need to win every argument because their self-worth is not precariously tied to being universally right all the time. Here's a practical way to implement this powerful principle. The next time someone expresses a disagreement with you, instead of immediately formulating your counterargument, pause. Then consciously ask yourself, what if they possess a valid point that I haven't yet fully considered? Follow that with a genuine, open-ended question like, help me understand your perspective more clearly. This seemingly simple shift transforms the entire dynamic from adversarial combat into a collaborative exploration. Sometimes you will genuinely discover that they are completely right, and you were, in fact, mistaken. This is not humiliating. It is a precious learning opportunity. Other times you will find that both of you are partially right, and by combining your unique perspectives, you can arrive at a far better, more comprehensive solution. And occasionally you will simply realize that you are dealing with a fundamental difference in values or beliefs that cannot be resolved through mere argument, and that's perfectly acceptable. Epictetus taught his students that when an individual is truly grounded and secure in life, they should not feel the need to constantly seek external approval. When you are genuinely confident in who you are at your core, you don't need to constantly prove it by winning every argument. You can afford to be generous with others, to listen deeply, and to concede gracefully, because your fundamental self-worth does not depend on their agreement or validation. This understanding is particularly crucial in your most important intimate relationships. The people you love, your partner, your children, your closest friends, are not opponents to be conquered or defeated. They are fellow human beings, each striving to navigate the complexities of life just as you are. Begin practicing what the Stoics called the discipline of assent, the profound ability to critically examine your inherent need to be right before you engage in any conflict. Ask yourself, is this specific argument truly worth the significant energy it will inevitably cost me? Will winning this particular debate actually improve the situation or merely inflate my ego? Am I genuinely trying to solve a problem, or am I merely trying to prove a point? Many times you will discover that the most potent and stoic response to disagreement is simply, "I see it differently, but I genuinely respect your perspective." This isn't capitulation. It is a conscious, empowering choice of inner peace over egoic pride. When you fundamentally stop trying to win every argument, something truly beautiful begins to unfold. People will actually start listening to you genuinely because they no longer perceive you as attacking them. Your conversations will become far more productive and meaningful because everyone involved feels safe and respected enough to share their authentic thoughts and feelings. Your relationships will flourish and deepen because people feel genuinely respected rather than consistently defeated. Remember, the true goal of communication is not to prove you are the smartest person in the room. It is to connect, to understand, and often to find shared solutions together. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose understanding over winning. Lesson 7. Mastering your inner world. Live from the inside out. This final principle, my friends, is where all the previous lessons converge and find their deepest meaning. This foundational concept is the bedrock that makes all the other Stoic practices not only possible, but powerfully effective. Most people throughout their entire lives live from the outside in. They passively permit external circumstances to dictate and determine their internal state of being. However, the ancient Stoics, through rigorous philosophical inquiry and personal practice, unearthed a profound secret to cultivating unshakable calm, living deliberately from the inside out. What does this truly mean for us as men navigating the challenges of modern life? It means that your profound sense of peace, your innate joy, your inherent self-worth, and your unwavering emotional stability originate from your inner character, from the core of your being, and not from the fluctuating, unpredictable whims of your external circumstances. It means you possess the remarkable power to generate your own internal weather, rather than being helplessly tossed around by the storms that rage outside. Epictetus, again, offered a seemingly simple, yet incredibly profound statement. No one can harm you without your permission. This wasn't naive, Pollyanna-ish optimism. This was hard-won wisdom, forged by a man who learned to discover an unyielding strength in the one place no external force could ever truly touch. His own indomitable mind, living from the outside, and often looks like this in our daily lives. Your mood is entirely dependent on whether people are consistently kind and agreeable to you on any given day. Your sense of self-worth fluctuates wildly, directly linked to your latest achievements or most recent failures. Your inner peace demands that everything in your life must be going perfectly well, without a single hitch. Your happiness is contingent upon you getting precisely what you want, precisely when you want it. In essence, you are constantly at the mercy of forces entirely beyond your direct control. Living from the inside out, by contrast, presents an entirely different, far more empowering picture. Your mood remains stable and resilient because it emanates from your deep connection to your own core values and virtues, not from the transient behavior of other people. Your self-worth is firmly grounded in the unwavering integrity of your character, not in the fleeting nature of your accomplishments. Your profound peace arises from consciously accepting what is in the present moment, while simultaneously working diligently and wisely towards what could be. Your happiness stems from deeply appreciating what you currently possess, even as you purposefully pursue growth and self-improvement. This doesn't imply that you become indifferent or apathetic to external circumstances. You still hold goals. You maintain preferences, and you experience desires. However, you are no longer fundamentally dependent on these external things for your deep, underlying well-being. You can desire things fiercely without needing them for your happiness. You can pursue ambitious goals with passion, without being utterly devastated if they don't unfold exactly as initially planned. Marcus Aurelius exemplified this daily in his own life. Despite managing an enormous empire, leading armies into war, and navigating treacherous political intrigue, he constantly reminded himself, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. He found his unwavering center in principles that no external force, no matter how powerful, could ever truly disturb. Here's how you can begin the transformative practice of living from the inside out. Begin each day by consciously connecting with something that truly matters deeply to you, perhaps your core values, your overarching purpose, or a profound sense of gratitude for simply being alive. End each day by reflecting honestly on how effectively you lived according to your own internal standards, rather than perpetually chasing other people's external expectations. When external challenges inevitably arise, and they will, ask yourself, how can I choose to respond to this situation in a way that genuinely aligns with the virtuous man I aspire to be? Instead of passively becoming a victim of your circumstances, boldly become the conscious author of your own responses. This, my friends, is where true, authentic power resides. Create an internal scorecard for yourself, one based solely on things you can actually control. Ask yourself, did I treat people with genuine kindness today? Did I perform my work to the best of my ability? Did I learn something new, no matter how small? Did I choose courage over comfort when faced with discomfort? Did I respond to challenges with wisdom and thoughtful consideration rather than impulsive reactivity? The most profound and liberating shift occurs when you truly realize that everything you have been relentlessly seeking, externally profound peace, genuine joy, unwavering confidence, authentic love already exists, waiting to be uncovered within you. It's not something you need to desperately acquire from the outside world. It's something you need to diligently uncover and cultivate within your own being. This is the ultimate crowning teaching of Stoicism. You are not merely a fragile leaf, helplessly blown around by the whims of external circumstances. You are the steadfast tree itself, deeply rooted, incredibly steady, and continuously growing powerfully from the inside out. Your branches may sway and bend with the pressures of the external world, but your core, your very essence, remains strong, stable, and utterly unmoved. When you genuinely commit to living from the inside out, you become truly, powerfully free. Free from the exhausting and futile need to constantly control everything around you. Free from the gnawing anxiety that inevitably arises from depending on external validation for your worth. And most importantly, free to be authentically yourself, your truest self, in a world that is constantly, subtly trying to mold you into someone else. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My strength comes from within, not from my circumstances. You now possess 7 incredibly powerful principles that can fundamentally transform your relationship with stress, with life's inevitable challenges, and with profound uncertainty. But merely knowing these profound ideas is not, by itself, enough. You must actively and consistently master them. The Stoics deeply understood that philosophy without diligent application is nothing more than intellectual entertainment, a pleasant pastime, but ultimately without real-world impact. These principles are not quick fixes or magical, instantaneous solutions. They are robust practices that demand unwavering consistency, immense patience, and genuine dedication. Some days you will apply them flawlessly, feeling completely aligned and empowered. Other days you will find yourself forgetting everything, reacting from old ingrained patterns. This is entirely normal and part of the human experience. True growth is never about achieving unattainable perfection. It is always fundamentally about consistent progress. Start by focusing on just one principle that resonates most deeply with your current needs. Practice it diligently and consistently for an entire month before gradually integrating another. Remember, you are quite literally rewiring your brain's fundamental responses to life. This process takes time, effort, and repetition, but every single moment you invest in purposefully training your mind is an invaluable investment in your future peace, resilience, and well-being. The ancient Stoics faced wars, devastating plagues, insidious betrayals, and profound personal losses that would utterly shatter most individuals. Yet, through it all, they discovered and cultivated a way to maintain an unwavering inner peace. Not because their lives were easy or devoid of hardship, but because they understood something deeply profound. The ultimate quality of your life is not determined by external events, but by the discerning quality of your thoughts and your conscious responses to those events. You possess everything you need right here, right now, to courageously begin this transformative journey. You do not require perfect external conditions, unlimited free time, or a perpetually stress-free existence. You simply need the unwavering willingness to perceive life's inevitable challenges as invaluable opportunities to actively practice and strengthen these profound principles. Marcus Aurelius, in his daily reflections, reminded himself, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Your thoughts, consciously or unconsciously, have been actively creating your experience of life up until this very moment. But starting today, right now, you can consciously begin to powerfully direct those thoughts towards cultivating profound calm, timeless wisdom, and unyielding inner strength. Remember, the goal is not to eradicate all stress from your life. That is an impossible and, frankly, unhealthy objective. Instead, you are learning the profound art of meeting whatever life brings your way with grace, with wisdom, and with an unshakable inner peace. The path of the Stoic is rarely easy, but it is always profoundly worthwhile. Every single time you consciously choose calm over chaos, wisdom over impulsive reactivity, and inner strength over external dependence, you step closer to becoming the powerful, virtuous man you are truly meant to be. Your journey to cultivating unshakable calm begins now. Not when your life magically gets easier, not when people suddenly understand you perfectly, and not when everything goes exactly according to your intricate plans. It begins right now in this precise moment with whatever circumstances you are currently facing. If this video has provided genuine value to you, please take a moment to hit the like button. Share it with someone in your life who desperately needs to hear this empowering message. And for more wisdom on living a truly peaceful and purposeful life, subscribe to the StoicCraft channel. Your future self will undoubtedly thank you for beginning this transformative practice today. Drop this powerful affirmation in the comments below. I am building unshakable calm from the inside out.